Yes, the rocket has launched into the sky. That can only mean one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live stream, where we invite you into our classroom, our lecture theatre, our learning hall, and we take a look at your channels and we share our wisdom, our knowledge, our experience that is hopefully going to set you on the next upward trajectory of your YouTube channel. We are in the middle of Pi Day and Austin 316 Day. It is 3:15 today. So we're right in the middle of some very interesting days of the year. I believe it is episode 11 of channel audits this year. Episode 3974th of channel audits on the vidIQ YouTube channel. Yes, I did make up that second number. And one more thing, everybody. Tell me if you are here through the community tab post that we posted a couple of hours ago. I was experimenting with, instead of just doing a image advertisement, wrapping up this live stream in a poll to see if you would vote in a poll and then join us in a live stream. Just a little experiment, may be used in a future video on the channel. With all of that being said, though, I think it's time to invite our esteemed, excellent, knowledgeable guests. And as always, it's the reliable, it's the dependable, it's the eyebrow surprised Dan. Oh, they're more curious eyebrows today, Dan. A quizzing. It was almost the Rock, Dwayne Johnson style eyebrow. There we go. Yeah, you've got it. You've got it a little bit there. That's interesting.
Yeah, thank you. I practice.
How you doing, Dan? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
What's going on? Dan was telling me just before we went live that he's experimenting with his lighting setup. So if all of you folks notice, when he goes to his Inspector Gadget villain silhouette mode to lots of beautiful lighting, give him a thumbs up. Make Dan feel good about his efforts. As all creators put all of his time and effort behind the scenes to get their setups looking right and their audio sounding fantastic.
And then there's me.
And then there's you. And then there's you. Introducing last but certainly not least, which probably means that I'm the least, as always. It is the man with the passion of 1,000 men, the text on thumbnail scrutiny of, I don't know what, I can't think of a simile there or a metaphor.
Longest name ever.
There we go. We'll just introduce him and I'll give you the usual 20 seconds of get pumped up, hyped up introduction. That is this man.
Who's muted?
You've blown it. You've blown it. I mean,
I don't know what's going on with my mic. My microphone is doing crazy things. But what's up, people? It's your boy Viber. The mic is unmuted, and we are live. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So we had 10 seconds of silence there, followed by 10 seconds of enthusiasm.
There you go.
You know, I just feel fantastic for the first time probably in about 3 years. I wasn't the first person to have a technical glitch on a live stream. It's coming at some point, but not the first. So,
oh, no.
I hope people heard that sound.
Very long sound effect.
What in the world is going on over there?
It wasn't. I have, at least for the next 2 hours, I think I've set up all of my sound effects. So I'm going to be celebrating frequently by testing them all.
This is not an afternoon drive radio show. I just don't understand the obsession with sound effects. I don't get it.
If I could perfect my use of
hold on, Rob. Give me 1 second here. Hold on, Rob.
Wait, hang on.
What do you mean, Jay? What do you mean you don't understand the obsession with sound effects? Come on, man.
Shots fired.
Was that the sound effect we were all trying to use? They can be so powerful and so cool. If you remember to use them and integrate them. So I'm going to try and do that a little bit this week. But usually I forget after 5 minutes. Let's say some hellos, shall we, Dan? I want you to start with saying hello to some wonderful people who've joined us in this live stream today.
I don't know about wonderful people, because I mean, we have Nexi Gaming, for example. I don't know anything about them. Hopefully they're wonderful. We also have Tasty Food Official BD, which sounds wonderful. And then we also have Nursery Vay, something like that. And Gaming with CW. Hello.
Viper, it's your turn. Say hello to some people.
Yo, I'll be tastic. Hello, how are you? Appreciate you being here. Hello, D Whittler. Hello, I don't know how to pronounce that, but hello. Hello to HD Filmed. How you doing? And hello to that mean fella. Quite the name right there. What's happening?
That's a cool channel name, is that? Yeah. It makes my job so much easier when everybody in the live stream has producer controls, so they can just bring up all of their own stuff. That really does help. I'm going to say hello to Lynn Herman Films. The vibe is certainly education and learning. I'm going to say hello to the channel name with probably the most syllables I've ever had to use in a channel name. XXD4R 3AM NXOBXXX. And I missed out the underscore as well. But hello to you as well. The Faceless Chef UK. Mapper Wapper was also there, but I missed out on clicking their channel name. And Sweet Fingers Dish with the emoji. There we go. Mapper Wapper. I want to say hello to you as well. And somebody who's trying to troll us and challenge us. They said this won't be picked. And now the comment's gone, so I can't actually pick that person. I saw that message. I was going to pick it, but I can't. Joe's phenomenal. Hi, Dan, Rob, Muted Viper. Thank you for saying hello to all of us. We really do appreciate that. So, yeah, that's just welcoming in the community as always. We are a community. We are a family. If you are new here, do let us know in the chat right now. And we're also welcoming our original gangsters, people who've been here for a couple of years, those who've joined us for the last couple of months. Do make sure to make everybody feel very welcome as we show you, if you are a first-time visitor to this live stream, how things are going to pan out for the next couple of hours in a 60-second explainer tutorial. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in the chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using the link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. Yeah, that's what we do for the next couple of hours, taking your channels and offering you our best advice, wisdom, and knowledge.
You know what? Before we start, Rob, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that when you were growing up, you owned a clapper, didn't you?
I don't know what a clapper is.
What? What? Are you for real right now? You don't know what the clapper is? Oh man.
No, what is a clapper?
It's the little device that you use to clap and the light go on and off.
No. I lived in the UK.
Well done, Dan.
Yeah. Does that work?
Yeah, well, it works if you have the device, but
or shall we do this? Hey, Alexa, turn off my lights.
And you just set off 1,000 Alexas.
Yeah, that was the intention. No, so I lived in the UK where we didn't have such technology. We didn't even have dimmer switches. We had on and off, and that was pretty much it.
I just had to comment because your clap is so well done, man. I'm like so exact.
So like in almost every YouTube video, I do like that or a clap. So in the last couple of years, it has become a staple of my vidIQ videos, and I kind of feel as if I need to start using more inventive ideas. I've used the Thor hammer a couple of times as well for transitions. But no, I did not have a clapper as a younger person. Maybe I should invest in one. Maybe I should Amazon it right now. Where was I? Housekeeping. That's where I was. What I was going to say was we have hundreds of channel submissions every single week, which you will see later on. And so we can't audit every single channel. So what I recommend you do is you open up your YouTube channel on a second screen. And when we're talking about a technology channel or a travel channel or a comedy channel, whatever type of YouTube channel that we're going to look at in the next couple of hours, many of the fundamentals that we talk about will apply to your channel as well. To try to bear that in mind if we don't necessarily touch your channel, because a personal experience is always fantastic, but many of the things we talk about, we repeat ourselves every single week. With all of that being said, I always like it, by the way, when Dan, because I'm looking at the camera, but I've got StreamYard just over in the corner here, and I can see Dan's head nodding when I say certain things, and now he's shaking his head. Right, well, there. If he's going to shake his head, we'll just remove him out of a stream. But the problem is he's a producer, so he can just add himself back in like this. Look, he's actually gone.
He walked away. He walked away.
He just walked away from the from his seat. We're wasting a lot of time here. Maybe we should. Oh dear. Are we actually going to audit any channels, or are we just pulling pranks on each other for the first half hour? Well played, Dan. Well played, Dan. Let's audit a channel, shall we? The first channel that's submitted this week from the non-gaming channel audit form, and they call themselves the World of House. And I think at this point I will take a hydration break, and I'll let Viper start with your first impressions of what you can see here.
Ooh, we starting off with Viper this week. All right. So, the World of House. I mean, that's a cool channel name, but my first impression is looking at your channel banner, it doesn't tell me what the channel is about. That's not the most important thing in the world, but it would kind of help give the viewers an idea of what they can expect when they land on your channel. But if we move to the videos and tags and titles and all the titles and thumbnails, looks like you are doing a lot of shorts, so that's cool. But let me see, can I get an idea of what the channel is about from looking at the titles? Let's see. Fishing. Okay, it looks like we got some fishing. No, we got fishing. We got baptism. We got oh wow. Okay. Okay. So my first impression is that this channel looks like a repository for content. It doesn't look like it has any like set focus. So if you want to grow on YouTube, and I'm assuming because you're watching our live stream that you do want to grow on YouTube, that's generally why people are here. You're gonna need to figure out the focus of your channel. Like, and what I mean by that is when I land on your channel, in 30 seconds or less, can I figure out what your channel is about? If I can't figure that out in 30 seconds or less, that's not a good look, because then it makes the viewer wonder what they can get from you. And if they can't figure that out in 30 seconds, then you need to work on that as a creator. So I would figure out what you actually want your channel to be about moving forward, and then try to hone in on more of that content. But I'm sensing a lack of focus on the channel right now.
I would say if there is a loose-ish attachment to a certain topic, it would be fishing. I seem to see that more than anything else on a semi-regular basis, and there are several shorts here which have a decent number of views. Like a review here, presumably of a fishing rod that's got over 2,000 views, which is fantastic. But then there's a video about a Disney World trip, and also somebody's wedding. I don't know if it's yours or somebody else's. I read in the description that you are 15 years old, so I assume probably it's not yours, but you were covering it maybe as a filmmaker. So yeah, I think channel focus and topic, and I think as you said at the very beginning here, Viper, this channel banner kind of sets a scene, doesn't it? In that you don't really learn much from the channel banner, and then that feeling throughout the rest of the content, you're still not really learning instinctively what the channel is about. Which I think the creator said they were 15 years old, so you do have that license to experiment and find your place on YouTube. But I think in order to prevent having videos which get 11,000 views and the next one have 93 views, there's obviously a lack of viewer connection between one piece of content to the next. Dan, we probably covered maybe the main topic here, but if there's anything else jumping out at you, do let us know.
I'm not seeing anything beyond what's already been said. I think it seems like they're probably just at a stage where they're trying to figure out what it is they would like to do on YouTube. They've experimented with a lot of stuff now. I would say it's pretty interesting if you were to look at the views on your channel, the videos that have the most views and the shorts that have the most views, you might start to see some trends. You might start to see the things that have resonated in the past. And then you got to decide, is that the route you want to go going forward? Do you want to be a fishing channel? Because it looks like, based on the most popular videos, that you are a fishing channel other than the lifted Silverado video. Are you do you have access to a lot of cars, like car shows and things like that? Because maybe you could cover different types of cars with different modifications on them, or you could be a fishing channel, or you could be a filmmaking channel. I just don't think you can do all these things long term at the same time.
It is leaning towards fishing, isn't it? But certainly in the most popular content. But when you go to the everyday content, the latest video was about fishing, but then being like a personal story a little bit more here. I think that's about fishing, and a snow blizzard, Disney World, more snow, wedding, and then fishing. So there was a big, huge gap of about a month of alternative content before they went back to what seems to be their main topic on their channel. And if you do want to explore all of these different topics and have an audience resonate with those different topics, then you'll have to start thinking about separate channels for each topic, at least at the beginning of your YouTube journey. Maybe as a personality, you can grow enough influence and community to start merging it back into one channel. But right now, mixed messages, I think, from each piece of content that you release.
And we're not saying that you guys can like have a YouTube channel that's strictly a repository for your content. But like I said in my assessment, if you are here on vidIQ channel, then that tells me you are here because you want to grow your YouTube channel. And we're going to give you the best tips and strategy to grow your YouTube channel. And a lot of times that will come down to you as the creator setting a clear and defined channel focus, which means not using your YouTube channel as a repository. Again, you can do that if you don't care about growing on YouTube. But if you care about growing on YouTube, then you need to be more focused, definitely.
Yeah, I guess a really potential good example of this was this wedding, which maybe you were covering for the guests, and you shared this link with all of the friends and family and guests of this wedding. But maybe it would have been better to keep that unlisted so as not to disrupt the flow of content on the home page and the browse feeds and subscription feeds, where, you know, a broader YouTube audience isn't necessarily going to be as invested in this wedding that you covered, and they're much more interested in the next catch from your fishing trips. So I think that concludes our first audit, the world of house, and then we'll move on to the next channel. As always, it is our first gaming channel submission of the week from the forums, which you can find in the video descriptions. And Dan, you are now looking at a relaxed mule.
I like that they have a mascot. I think that's cool. And I would say it's relatively memorable name. So let's take a look. So they say in their banner. Now, this was something I was going to point out about channel banners a second ago, so I'm glad this came up immediately after. Like, some people like to put their schedule in their banner, and you could look at it one of two ways. You could look at it as a broken promise, because a lot of times you evolve your schedule and then you don't change your banner, or you can look at it as a way to kind of keep yourself honest. Like, I'm going to commit so hard to this schedule that it's going to be like on the front page of my channel. So are you committed to that schedule is kind of my first question. And I can't see any of the dates on your videos. There we go. So 22 hours ago was Monday. It looks like 2 days ago you streamed. 4 days ago you streamed, or you did a short actually. And then 5 days ago you streamed. So I would say it looks like you're pretty much committed to that schedule as of right now, which is great. So what game is that? on Rio. Oh no, okay, that's probably not it. It's Dead by Daylight. It says in the thumbnail. So you're streaming Dead by Daylight. You are playing Elder Scrolls Online, which to me feel like two pretty different games. And it looks like you have some Lost Ark as well, so that's another MMO, I believe. I don't know if forgive me if Dead by Daylight is an MMO, and I'm just not. I thought it was a horror game.
I think it's a multiplayer horror game. I don't know if it's an MMO.
Right.
Someone in the chat will be able to help us with that, I think.
So my first impression of this channel is that they're using YouTube to stream, right? Which is great. I think that's a great place to be, especially to like these days, 2022. Great place to stream gaming content. But I feel like you're kind of treating your YouTube channel a little bit like you would, I'm going to say this, a Twitch channel, because on Twitch, there isn't any like search and discovery. So a lot of people play a lot of different games on Twitch, and it's totally fine. On YouTube, though, we always try and get people to build up their returning viewers. And to do that, the best way is to kind of focus in. So you can be the channel that covers one type of game, like horror games or MMOs, but I've already seen both of those examples on this channel in a very, very short window of time. More commonly, what I tell new creators is that if you can really niche down into one game and then be like the master of something, some type of content with that game, you're gonna find a lot of success there, because especially if you find an underserved market, maybe Elder Scrolls Online, maybe there's a type of way you can cover that game that would be really valuable to players, new players, players who've been there a while, things like that. So those are just some general tips. Let's say you hear what I'm saying and you go, okay, I'm going to play one game. What would you say? I'm streaming and I'm making videos. What would I do next? If you're streaming on YouTube, one thing you can do is take clips from your stream and upload those as your videos. So you can primarily be a streaming channel. This is one strategy. You can primarily stream, say, Elder Scrolls Online, and you take all the coolest moments from that, and you set up what's called a replay buffer. If you have OBS or Streamlabs OBS, it's really easy to do. Look up a quick guide on it. It's called replay buffer. What it allows you to do is hit a button every time something cool happens, and it saves on your computer the last 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you set it to. Then after your stream is done, you go in whenever you have time and you edit those 3-5 minute clips into short bite-sized videos. And maybe at the end, there's a quick call to action to subscribe so you don't miss the next live stream or something like that. So you're kind of repurposing content, and those videos are more searchable, they're more spreadable, and people are learning about you through those short, fun videos. And then they're probably checking out a live stream because they've subscribed to you, and now they see that you're live, and now they're becoming slowly integrated into your community. So that's how I would handle live streaming gaming content today.
As I look at the channel, Dan, I just scroll down as far as I wanted to, and I can see that the creator has been on YouTube now for 3 years. But yet the videos from the last couple of days, the live streams, we're looking at 2 views, 19 views, 36 views.
Yeah.
This feels like another one of these channels which is caught in that let's play loop.
Yeah.
That spiraling, almost death loop of they keep doing let's plays, and continuously they fail to build an audience through it.
Yeah.
Whereas I see the shorts that they do on occasions that do have some nice views, like 100 views from 4 days ago, 1,300 views.
So there's entertainment value there.
Sorry?
Right? There's entertainment value behind those. People are finding those shorts and they're entertained, and YouTube's recognizing that and they're spreading them.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, is it worth, from a creator's point of view, either creating a second channel that's just solely devoted to the shorts that are finding traction, or just not doing streams for a month or 6 weeks and just doing nothing but short form content?
It just kind of depends on their goals, I think. I've seen channels do well in both of those cases. I've seen channels that create a shorts channel and or a clip channel, not even necessarily YouTube shorts, but just short clips, and they have a main channel where they do like long form kind of documentary style content. They have a streaming channel, so I've seen people do this and split off into multiple channels. I've also seen one channel house all the content and do it in a very well-rounded way. So it kind of depends on what they would want to do. So I would say, to relax Mule, that is up to you. The other thing we haven't covered yet, though, is the titles of some of their videos. Look how creatively they title their shorts. And it's no wonder they're doing so well.
And they are all of the most popular videos. Look at how interesting this is. All of the shorts in the last 2 months and the most popular videos on the channel that's been creating content for about 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the shorts. They're doing a good job because, as you say, Dan, the titles are a little more enticing. But you raise a fantastic point about the titles on the live streams.
Right. So the last bit of live streaming advice I have for anybody out there who's thinking about streaming, and this goes for videos too, but especially with live streams, I want you to prepare for your live streams a little bit more. And you might be preparing a lot, but the problem is your title and your thumbnail don't tell me you're doing that. But if you were to create a goal for your live stream, whatever you're trying to do, if it's get to a certain point in the game, if it's to challenge yourself, add some stakes to it, whatever you need to do to get people to understand like, oh, something cool is being attempted here right now. That's going to help you so much more when your live streams are live and you're trying to get them discovered. This goes for videos too. You obviously want your videos to have an interesting title, interesting thumbnail, because look at the Lost Ark one from just if you scroll down a tiny bit. Lost Ark gameplay, levels 14 through 19. What is that? Like, I understand levels in a game and I understand playing a game through certain levels, but is there anything else that could happen in that live stream? Even if it doesn't happen, but anything you would hope that happened that you could have made a better title and thumbnail around. You know, if you set yourself a goal, it will be a lot easier to categorize your stream for the viewers, and they'll be able to go like, oh, this person's playing Lost Ark and they're trying to get this certain item. They're trying to get to this certain place, or they're trying to play it without dying, whatever the case may be. So I want you to think about all this. Think about how viewers are going to look at your content. Maybe start looking at live streams on YouTube and seeing like the biggest ones, how they're titling their live streams and how they're adding thumbnails too.
Dan, as always, money advice for a gaming channel. Let's move on to the sound of Portuguese. And I think it's pretty clear from their channel banner that they're going to show you how to understand native speakers in Portuguese. And the channel's approaching 3,000 subscribers. So they've had some previous success, which is fantastic to see. Again, Viper, I'm just going to throw this over to you for first impressions. What are you seeing here?
You know, maybe I'm approaching this the wrong way, but it appears to me that this channel is making the one mistake that we advise channels not to make, and that is mixing up the languages in your titles. Obviously, you're talking about Portuguese, so it might be some of that might be you trying to teach English-speaking people Portuguese. But when we land on a channel, right? We land on your channel. Yeah. And your titles are in English, but then you have titles in Portuguese. Like you're sending the signal to a potential viewer that maybe this might not be the channel for you if they don't know Portuguese. So, I mean, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, what I think you're trying to do anyway. But when you have your titles in different languages, and it looks like the titles and the thumbnails are both in a different language, and you have like 2 languages on the same channel, you're really playing with the audience there, and you want to be careful with that for sure.
It's interesting, Viper, because I generally agree with you in that mixing titles, languages can really alienate a viewer. You know, if we take this one as an example, like lots of vocabulary, practice Portuguese. Okay, brilliant. This to me tells me that it's an English person trying to learn Portuguese. And then I guess this is maybe Christmas Advent celebrations in Portuguese. Oh, so is this for a Portuguese person learning English? I'm a bit confused here. But the interesting thing here is look at how consistent the view counts are. Like throughout the channel, it's not just there. It seems to be a relatively strong 500 to 1,000 views. I'm just curious how the creator is able to maintain their audience while switching the language in the titles and the thumbnails.
Also, as somebody in the chat said, if you scroll down a little bit, there are a lot of thumbnails down below that look the same. I'm glad they kind of evolved from that, because we always talk about how you don't want to make your thumbnails look the same, because your subscribers might think they already saw the video and then they'll skip it because the thumbnail looks so similar to the last thumbnail. So you definitely want to be careful with that.
Yeah. These ones here, I think this could have been fixed quite easily by changing the objects on the right-hand side. I don't have too much of an issue with the flag and the changing of text, but changing the background image would have been an idea. But as you say, Viper, they've already transitioned away from that. One thing that I think we do need to address here is the commitment in the channel banner says new videos every week. And if you look at the posting consistency this year, I'm seeing maybe 2 videos this year. Now, maybe the creators decided to take a break and they're returning to their channel and looking to our advice on how to kickstart their channel again. So obviously, we're going to say recommit to your consistency, be it once a week or twice a week. I think certainly when people are learning languages, they need to be engaged pretty frequently, because that initial enthusiasm to start a hobby such as learning a language, they want to be fed as much content as possible in the early stages. And then once they're 6 weeks in, 2 months in, the initial enthusiasm's probably subsided, and now you've got to try and get them to commit to the long haul and the hard work. And so if you've taken a break, your audience has maybe found the learning elsewhere, or they've stopped learning as well. So really maintaining that consistency is super important. If you're struggling for content because maybe you've produced so much previously, then think about when you're publishing the content in terms of seasons. Like, you covered Christmas in a really good way. Like, we're approaching Easter. Is that something that's celebrated in Portugal and the Portuguese language that you can use as a template for a language discussion and education? Then we're moving to the summer. Think about travel, vacation, people, COVID's ending, all of these types of different language opportunities that tie into when you're releasing your content. That might be another approach to look at. Come on, somebody help me out. Help me out.
I mean, I think we covered everything we need to cover for the channel. I think we can move to the next one.
You reckon? Anything else that we can see?
I'm trying to figure out if they've started like a good running, like if the goal is to learn Portuguese, like is there a running series that goes through like different concepts and things like that? I'm seeing a lot of shorts lately, which must make it like, it makes sense, I suppose. Like, it kind of, it's a way to put yourself out there as like a language learning channel. But when I get here from the shorts, am I like, where's the destination for me? Like, okay, I actually am interested in learning Portuguese, so where should I start? And playlists, I think, for channels like this would be really important. I don't know if on the home feed they have any listed. There are some playlists here, which is good.
Quite a lot of playlists where they kind of started but never really made any progress. They're all like 1 videos, 2 videos in there.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at the shelves.
Yeah. So I would really treat your channel as, I mean, if you were setting up a course on like a Skillshare kind of website, you would build out that course and then you would upload it, right? And you don't have to do that on YouTube. You can post videos every week or whatever it is. But I think you should be really dedicating yourself to a schedule and saying like, okay, I have my lesson plan here and I'm going to teach these concepts through the course of these next 10 videos, 20 videos, whatever it is, and start getting those uploaded. Because if I were to come here from one of these shorts and I'm like, I want to learn more, I'm lost. I don't know where to go. And it doesn't feel like if I watch one of these videos, it's going to go to the next one in a series of lessons, so I just don't know. The value is like, learn to understand native speakers, which is a pretty solid promise, and then I get in and that's not what I'm getting.
Oh, so this is interesting. They're using their community tab, but they're asking people to answer a poll, but on a link to a web page,
to their website, it looks like.
Why would you not have the voting poll right here, right now, to remove friction?
Right.
My guess is there might be a ploy here to get them on an emailing list or something.
Yeah, I mean, they probably like having an image post because the images look nice, but like,
let's have that.
So yeah, exactly. That's way more easy to interact with.
the reason I went to the community tab, actually, as we move on from this channel, Sounds of Portuguese, good luck. We're getting back onto YouTube with content, is we have 500 people watching this live stream, which is about 20 to 25% above average, which I thought was interesting. And I think the reason might be, so this is another tip for you in terms of how to get people to come and watch your content, is I did a voting poll 3 hours before this live stream went live, just asking people, do they want their YouTube channel reviewed? Of course, many of you voted for yes, but what I cheekily included in there was, well, you can actually get one through this link, which is linked to this live stream. And so, yeah, with 500 plus people watching it, that's like a quick tip of how to, first of all, engage an audience on YouTube with a voting poll, but then offer them a possible solution to what's being provided in the community post.
Look at Rob using advanced buy tactics to get viewers on our live stream. I dig it, Rob. I dig it.
Yeah. So instead of using what I always encourage people not to do is don't use this video link thing, because you get so little engagement from sharing YouTube videos directly. It's always better to wrap the video up in some sort of engaging community post. So that's just like a bonus tip for anybody who has more than 500 subscribers and has access to the community tab. Moving on to the next channel, it is Mustafa Kamran. Hope I pronounced your channel right. And we'll start with Dan this time to allow Viper to sneak in on the blind side with some extra tips after Dan's had a stab at this one.
So I picked this channel because their banner intrigued me. It said tips and tutorials, and it looks like a nice polished banner. It looks like they have a nice polished logo. And I looked through the videos, and right away, I think everyone will notice that the tips and tricks videos, they kind of come so there's some shorts and there's some long form videos. For the most part, they're all some kind of how-to video. The thing you'll notice is that they kind of bounce around quite a lot between different topics. So it kind of becomes a little bit confusing because, yes, like how to manage time, make better thumbnails, 2D animated backgrounds in KineMaster, downloading copyright-free music. So we're a little bit all over the place. I mean, thumbnails and copyright-free music are both kind of YouTube advice bits, but then you got like, the KineMaster tutorials, edit your screen with your phone, like all these different types of tutorials. And so the first thing I would say to any channel like this is you really want to focus on making tutorials that are, that have a chance to interest somebody who might be interested in learning a lot from you. So for example, if you're going to do tutorials about thumbnails, I would expect that from a channel who's mostly doing tutorials about YouTube. So I would expect to see a lot of different tutorials about a lot of different YouTube concepts, because you're catering it to an audience that needs help with those aspects, right? Like if I need help making thumbnails, I probably need help with titles too, and a lot of different things regarding YouTube. The other thing we have to point out here is that the thumbnails on these videos are so vastly different that you start to wonder, who is this person? Like so there's different faces here, and I'm worried, and we've seen this happen before. I'm not accusing you, but I'm worried that you're taking thumbnails from other videos and just kind of using them on yours. That's what it looks like to, I think, any outsider coming into this channel. I'm not saying that's what this person's doing. I just think that's the vibe I'm getting from all these way different thumbnails on way different topics. So that's another thing they need to address.
If you look at this thumbnail here, I can see a logo there.
Yeah, but then the logo changes.
And then the logo changes. I guess that might be the logo of the tool you're using, but it's difficult to differentiate because in some thumbnails you don't have the thumbnail. And you know what? This also leads me to believe, Dan, is that this channel, in terms of its diversity of thumbnails, means that I sense that when I get into the videos themselves, I might have a faceless channel with potentially a robot voice and stock images and footage. I might be wrong about that, but that's just the vibe the channel is giving off in its presentation on the video page.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing is what's the vibe of this channel? and I can't hear it, but.
And I was correct. It is robot. It's a robot voice. It's an original script, but it is a robot voice. And I've used that stock footage in my own videos because I know exactly where that's come from.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a feeling of disconnect here. I think certainly when you're an educator and you're trying to get people to trust you and follow your guidance, then there needs to be a bit more of a human connection, a personality, as if you're talking to somebody down a lens. And I feel as if there might be a bit of a distance here in terms of the communication between the creator's content and the viewer who might be watching this stuff.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And then it's the disconnect in the content, and then the disconnect in the thumbnails and the titles, the topics of the videos. Honestly, we're covering way too many topics. So my main advice for this channel is to not only niche down in the type of thumbnails the type of topics that you're covering, but niche down in a style too. I want to see more consistent thumbnails because it looks like these were, like I said earlier, it could be taken from somewhere else or literally just different Canva templates and things like that you've you don't know which one you want to use regularly, so you're just trying them all, and it makes it look like I'm looking at 100 different YouTube channels right now.
Now, Viper, I do apologize. I think we've audited this channel to the ground. So
no, you're good. But I don't have anything else to add, but I do have a question for both of you all.
Sure, go ahead.
So we are on YouTube, and as you guys alluded to, when you're on YouTube, generally you want to establish that human connection with your potential viewer, which means most channels on YouTube, in my estimation, probably are not going to use the robot voice in their content. So my question to you both is there a case at all on YouTube for a channel to be okay using a robot voice? Because I can't think of anything.
I think if you are, if it's intentional, like usually I think people are using AI voices because they themselves are too afraid to record their voice because they're not confident enough, or they're looking for a cheap solution to a problem that they have. However, I think in memes and for entertainment purposes, I think there is certainly a place for that. But I think mostly in terms of wanting to create a really good connection with your audience, as soon as I hear an automated AI voice, that's an immediate switch off for me in like 95% of circumstances.
Yep.
Dan, what do you think?
The only time in recent history that I've seen that and thought, yeah, okay, I get it, whatever, is either on TikTok or TikToks that have been repurposed for YouTube Shorts.
There's a certain style there's a certain culture for that.
Yes.
For that, isn't there, in short form content?
Yeah, you have that voice that just kind of explains in a sentence what you're about to watch, and it adds that context. And maybe the person who captured that moment wasn't thinking, I need to commentate over this, or they don't want to. They'd rather use TikTok's tools to have that done for them. And people are so used to hearing it now that they almost associate that voice with that whatever type of content that person's trying to make. So that's a case where I'm fine with it. But yeah, like the video you just pulled up, like if someone's going to sit down and try and teach me something and they're going to use a robot voice, I'm not going to connect with that content. I'm going to turn it off faster than I could do anything else.
Yeah. What I will add is I think there's a subjective personal opinions. So we asked the question to all of you in the chat, like when you hear a robot voice or it's AI, what is your instinctive reaction to that in the video? So do let us know in the chat. So what I will now offer you, Viper, is the opportunity to lead on the next channel, which is Learn with Lewis. And I think this is one that you pre-selected as well.
Yeah. So first off the bat, I love the banner because the banner tells me exactly what I can expect when I go through the channel. So kudos to you for the banner, my dude. If we go down to the videos and everything, let's see. We go to some of these topics, these titles and thumbnails and everything like that. I like the fact that you don't use too much text on your thumbnails. Usually, whatever text you are using, it goes to kind of be complementary to the title that you're using, and I like that because again, as Rob will tell you, I'm not a fan of too much text on thumbnails, and I think you are doing it correctly with yours. So kudos to you. Other than that, let's see. Didn't want people more rational than you. Okay.
I call this the Nick Nimmin text on thumbnails design.
Yep.
He definitely does his reds, blacks, and yellows together, and they work really well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see. We got what more effort to this. Yeah. I think I'm trying to see if I can establish some type of common denominator between this content, and I'm having difficulty doing that. Let's see. We got memory app, self-control, master manipulator. Well, kind of. Okay. All right. So it looks like the channel just wants to help you optimize your mental capacity. I think that's what I'm getting here, which is cool. Yeah, that seems to be what the channel is, helping you maximize your mental capacity and brain power. Okay. All right. So I mean, how many you okay, I think he has like 400 subscribers. So
yeah, not bad for the number of videos he's pushed out so far in 2 months.
Yeah.
Some progress here.
Is he uploading regularly? Let's see, 1 month, 3 weeks. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess really my only critique for you is to upload more content. I think if you put out more content, I think you're on the right path. Your thumbnails are good. Your titles are intriguing, and yeah, you need more content.
I have something. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
You're good.
So there's a handful of videos here. I think it's a really, really good start. We've seen channels like this before, though, that they specialize in something that I think is really valuable, but that people don't realize they want or need. And I think this is one of those topics, like spatial memory palace method tutorial. I don't think anybody is searching for that.
It's a bit impenetrable, isn't it? I don't understand what I'm getting into with that thumbnail.
Right. But the more, if I think about it, if I sit and I look at the thumbnail and I think about that for a while, I'm like, there's probably something in there that's actually really cool. So what you need to do, and maybe this is not something you will just figure out overnight, but something you should kind of think about is when you're trying to teach a concept about, having a better memory, can you put that behind something else that people might actually find, right? So you're always teaching the concept in a way that is more approachable, because people don't really realize that they want to get your services. So you need to try and convince them of that in the title and the thumbnail. I don't know if, Rob, you have an example. I'm like struggling so hard to think of an example right now.
I can't think of an example.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them, I think.
Yeah. Now I look at this thumbnail, Dan. I like, just imagine I'm a complete idiot. What are you trying to tell me in this thumbnail? From watching this video, am I going to be able to remember buildings more frequently?
Never lose your keys again. Something like that.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to think. Just some kind of really, really, really dead simple concept. Like, think of a problem and solve the problem using your expertise.
Never forget blank again. I think would be a much better way to pitch that thumbnail to someone, because as a complete layman, I don't know what spatial memory is. I'm seeing Anki appear quite frequently as well. Again, I'm not entirely sure what it is. Yeah. Now, maybe you're not trying to appeal to the complete layman such as myself. That maybe you're appealing to a particular audience that already have like maybe an intermediate understanding of the concepts that you're trying to share also with your audience.
When I look at the titles and thumbnails of the channel, the one thing that immediately jumped out at me is Sherlock Holmes, directly tied to Sherlock Holmes and how he uses his mental capacity to solve cases. So I don't know if you're interested in that, but if you could find a way to kind of package your titles and thumbnails in such a way that they relate to Sherlock Holmes, I think you might find some success there, since Sherlock Holmes is a mainstream phenomenon. So think about that as a possibility as well.
Now, it's interesting you mention a popular character and tying in your content to that Viper, because we already see there's an influence here from Game of Thrones with some of the characters from Game of Thrones in some of the thumbnails. And this thumbnail here in particular, in the title, quite clear how to spot a master manipulator. You'll know what that means if you understand who Littlefinger is in Game of Thrones. But I feel as if that's a bit of a topic jump, because on the one hand, we've got how to improve your memory. And then on the other hand, we've got this exploration into human psychology. And that, for example, this type of video very much reminds me of Charisma on Command, which is very focused on human psychology and being more confident as a person. And so I'm asking the question here, is there a little bit of a disconnect between this video and these two videos about memory? I feel as if there is, and the view counts seem to reflect that a little bit, in that we have, even though the sample size is relatively small, some videos are getting triple digits, they're getting over 100. Some are getting considerably less than that. Like, why did this one get only 14 views? And it's like all of these human psychology ones don't seem to be resonating as well with your audience.
Also, I kind of noticed that oh, never mind. I was gonna say some of the thumbnails that it's featuring are seem to be getting lower view counts, but no, that's just for some of them. Never mind.
Yeah. Like one we can look at right here is, this is why people are more rational than you. And it then says always do this with a picture of Jon Snow. But there's so many disconnects here. Why Jon Snow? Why are you pointing to him? Always do what? You know, I think the thumbnail should be a little more. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it a little vague and trying to make people a little bit like curious, like, oh, always do what? But you should have imagery there that like teases something, you know, like if you were holding an object that kind of related to whatever the thing was you're going to talk about in the video, something like that. Oh yes, this will be a good example.
This is a channel that I thought of when I saw some of the thumbnails.
See, this is really interesting. How to make bad jokes funny. They got late night hosts in there. To impress someone you admire, say this to start. See, like these thumbnails all kind of tell a story. Use this trick, how to make bad jokes funny. Like, this is what trick? But I got so much from that title and that thumbnail. It's going to teach me how to make bad jokes funny with a certain trick. So the value is clear, but the trick is not there. I have to watch the video to learn that. But this is why people are more rational than you. It's like, I never even considered that I'm not as rational as other people. You know, like there's a lot of disconnects.
Let's rewind for a second and say that we're looking at this channel almost as if they've got many of the fundamentals right. They feel as if we kind of know what topic they're on. You know, they haven't quite nailed down the topic correctly just yet. The thumbnails are strong in a certain way, but they haven't quite got the execution right. I feel as if I want to just encourage the channel and say that we're not worrying too much about channel focus or the thumbnails themselves having fundamental issues with too much text and whatever. We're onto the psychology here, aren't we? We're onto the focus of trying to get people to click on your videos. So I guess take this constructive criticism as a positive, because it feels like we're already on the next phase of auditing and education for you, even though you're only 2 months into your journey. So I just wanted to make sure that we established that we already like a lot of things about this channel, because I feel as if we're picking so many holes in it, but it's kind of like they're good holes to pick because you're already on the next phase of your journey.
I think they have something really cool to offer people.
Yeah, I
know?
do. Yeah,
I want them to, you know, think about this from just a different perspective is all. I do hope that they or no one else takes this as us like just ripping apart the channel. Like, I believe in this person's abilities, right? Like, I think they're probably very qualified to be teaching what they're teaching. So I want to spread to more people.
Absolutely. So that is Learn with Lewis. Folks, we aren't just a channel auditing service for 2 hours a week. Did you know that here at vidIQ, we have a wide swath of tools that are going to help you grow your channel 24/7? And I'm going to give you a bit of a sneak peek here. This is almost an exclusive to some of you, which is a tool that got upgraded significantly last week. And it is our keyword research tool from the web app. And what I mean by that is when you install vidIQ, you will see this extension button in the top right-hand corner. Can you see? So look at my mouse. I'm dragging it up to the top right-hand corner. There's the vidIQ extension button. If you click that, you can go to keyword research here. And this tool has now added a new panel to it called questions. So, for example, if I search for just simply the keyword Bitcoin, and I look at this panel called questions, it converts that keyword into hundreds of questions. So literally from that keyword search, we have 300 questions here about the things that people are searching for on YouTube. What is Bitcoin? How to mine Bitcoin? How to buy Bitcoin? How to get Bitcoin for free? What is Bitcoin mining? How to transfer Bitcoin to PayPal? The list is almost endless. This is another one of these tools which, if you struggle to come up with video ideas, is an absolute gold mine nugget of information. And I can scroll for a long time here. I mean, let's try another one, Dan. Give me a keyword and we'll search for that.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yes, there's a lot of Minecraft channels. No doubt we'll be auditing some Minecraft channels later on. So we have all of the usual tools such as the keyword score, related keywords, matching keyword terms. That's where it will show you any related keyword that includes Minecraft, whereas related keywords may show you related keywords that don't necessarily have Minecraft in there. Roblox might be one, for example. But if we go to the questions here, we've got how to build a house in Minecraft, how to download Minecraft Bedrock on PC for free, how to make a Minecraft server, how to migrate Minecraft accounts, how to download Minecraft, how to speed bridge build in Minecraft. I mean, take your pick, Dan. Take your pick. How to make XP farm in Minecraft.
Yeah.
How to make a castle in Minecraft.
You know, you scroll down.
Farzi needs to take a look at this tool, doesn't he?
Yeah, you scroll down so far, and all like even the questions way down the list. I'm like, yep. Like all great ideas for videos, but it depends on what kind of Minecraft channel you are. Maybe you're a building channel. Maybe that bridging one is probably for PvP channels. The migrating accounts is the more technical servers and accounts and things, more technical aspects. So there's questions for all different types of Minecraft niches.
That is cool. That is a cool use of our tool that it will legitimately generate questions based off a keyword. That's awesome, man.
And it's not literally just adding how to keywords. It's using all types of questions like what, where, why. If it knows that there are certain search terms on YouTube, then it's going to apply a question to it and give you this option. Now, of course, we're not saying that you turn all of these videos into ideas, but any one of these, you could just click on it. Now we're looking at the keyword how to invest in crypto. We scroll to the bottom and we have all of these different video suggestions. So you can look at the thumbnails, the titling structure, the quality of the content. So yeah, this tool, I saw it like a month ago and I got super excited about it. And I've been holding back, waiting to share this with people as a tool that's just going to give you so much more value, especially for education channels and search-based channels with the questions section. As I said, it is in the keyword tab on the web application of vidIQ. And if you are a current free user of vidIQ and you have never spent any money with us, then you don't have to. You can go to the video description of this live stream and you will see a link that will give you a 30-day free trial that's going to allow you to use this tool and a gazillion other tools that we have. I'm saying gazillion because you can't quantify that as a number. It just means we have a lot more vidIQ tools to help you grow your channel. So do make sure to check out that new keyword research tool.
Real quick, someone asked the question, what is a good score for a topic? So I really want to touch on this real quick. This score in particular for keyword research is out of 100. So the closer you can get that to 100, the better. And it's derived from the volume of searches versus how competitive it is. So the amount of people looking for an answer and the amount of people providing that answer. And you want a lot of people looking and not a lot of people providing. And that gives you the score closer to 100.
And in terms of the score, I would stress that you should very much use that as a general barometer.
Yes. Yeah.
Because a keyword is a lot different to a title. By the time you get to the stage of implementing a title into the keyword, there's many different factors that are going to convince a viewer to click. The keyword score tool is kind of one of our legacy tools that we've had for a long time. But you know by now that the concept of getting views on YouTube is a lot more complicated than just a single keyword. So yeah, By all means, use it as a starting point. but you want to go a lot further than just a number on a screen. It's going to be the title and investing time in the thumbnail and all of that type of stuff.
All right, I need to jump in here real quick because we need to do a quick aside. So I am on the vidIQ Twitter pretty much all day, every day, and I got a comment on there today that I want to address with all of you all real quick since we're all here. So someone on the Twitter addressed concerns with how much access the vidIQ extension has for your YouTube channel. They were concerned that we have access to view and manage your YouTube channel, post public comments, manage video playlists, this, that, and the other. I am here to tell you all that well before I was a vidIQ employee, I was using vidIQ, the tool, year before then. The tool doesn't do anything that you don't tell it to do. The reason why the tool needs the permissions that it needs is to analyze your YouTube analytics. That is all the tool does. Whatever other things that you see the tool do, like you'll see people post certificates on their Twitter account celebrating their milestones, that is initiated by the actual customer. That's not anything that vidIQ does, or that's not any automation of the tool. The tool cannot do anything that you don't tell it to do. The tool literally exists to analyze your analytics and make gives you the best numbers and things like that for you to make the decisions that you use to drive your YouTube channel. But the tool doesn't have any malicious intent. It doesn't do anything malicious with your channel or your content. It literally does whatever you tell it to do. So I just wanted to take a moment to alleviate some of your concerns, because I understand, because you obviously, when you have something attached to your YouTube channel, I mean, you should be worried. But as a person who's been using this tool for 4 or 5 years now, I can tell you all it's legit. It's not going to do anything bad with your YouTube channel. So that's what I got to say about that.
Agreed. We have millions of active daily users using vidIQ, and it's kind of almost a YouTube bottleneck, I'm going to describe it as, because YouTube's permissions are kind of like as a hammer. Like, you want to be as precise as possible with what you allow a third-party vendor such as vidIQ to use, but YouTube's permissions are very broad, so that we have to take a permission to do a certain thing, and that's what YouTube is telling us that we need the permission to access to. We'd love to be able to say we only want access to look at somebody's data, but in order to look at somebody's data, we need to use this permission, which is a bit of a broader scope. But as you say, Viper, I don't think we actually have any physical tools that allow vidIQ to delete comments, for example, or delete a video, for example. It is always initiated by the viewer, because another thing that YouTube is against is automation. And so all of our tools are driven by user actions. So yeah, absolutely right there on that topic. So that is the vidIQ tools. We hope you download and enjoy them. In the meantime, let's get back to some channel auditing. And the next channel we're going to look at is, I'm just bringing it up in the background, it is The Jester. I forget who picked this channel, so whoever did, chime in.
I did. And this channel is very interesting to me because they have 65,000 subscribers, but if you look at their current views on their most recent videos, they don't even crack 1,000 views. So yeah, that tells me that there must have been some type of pivot or something. So what I did was I went and I searched by most popular video, and it became evident why their channel is where it is. And they did a lot of Among Us content. Now I'll probably need a little bit help with this, because Dan is more into gaming than I am. But it seems like they were very successful with the Among Us content, but for whatever reason, they pivoted away from that. And since they've started pivoting away from the Among Us content, the views have just not been translating. So it's a little hard when you pivot from something that is as popular as Among Us, and you try to go do something else, and the viewers just don't have the interest there. So I guess my first bit of advice would be your current numbers aren't really very representative of your subscriber base. So you need to figure out what type of content that you can find that resonates more with your subscriber base. Maybe if that's a game that's similar to Among Us or something else that's currently trending in gaming, you might want to try to figure out if you can integrate that type of content. I know Elden Ring is pretty hot right now. So maybe you can, I don't know if that's your type of game, but that's definitely one of the more popular games right now. But yeah, I see you got some SpongeBob stuff in here, and it's whatever reason it's not hitting. So you're going to need to figure out a way to find what's popular and then try to integrate that into your content strategy, because it doesn't seem like the current strategy is helping you all that much.
This would be a good channel to compare to, I think, Jake Fellman, because this is kind of what he did too. He rose to fame from Among Us. I know it's shorts, it's a different type of content, but the concept here is the same. Like, he used Among Us to tell his own stories in his own animation style, and this person was doing just that. But Among Us fell out of popularity, and so did the channel. So it's time to find the next thing. And Jake Fellman's pivoted to Minecraft. He's pivoted to Five Nights at Freddy's, and I think now he's on something new as well. So it always comes back to like what's really popular right now, you know, and how can I take that and animate it in my own style? And it looks like you like to include the Among Us characters in SpongeBob and different, you know, shows that they don't belong, which is really funny. And I think that's the next move is to find, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, again, using another fantastic vidIQ tool, is the historical tracking of views per hour. And like, even though this video was released almost a year ago at this point, it's still getting 250 views per hour or 200 views per hour. Quick maths, that's about 4,000 to 5,000 views per day.
Mm-hmm.
People are still coming into your channel as an entry point. This is still a video.
Yeah.
So I think there's two things here. The stickman concept is popular, and what I think this is more important here is the format of the video is popular, which is this comparison of an animation, original versus animation parody, because a significant number of your most popular videos are this remake versus original piece of content. And when we go to just your day-to-day publishing of content, let's see here. When was the last time you did one of those? There we go. That tells me that this thumbnail style and titling and format is popular with your audience, and they're not necessarily resonating as well with, I guess, I when I look at these thumbnails, I'm not sure if there's much less communication going on in terms of what's in the video.
Yeah.
They look like sort of single scenes or something a little bit memey. And then you're into live streams where you're working on animations, and I'm pretty certain your audience is not interested in watching you create something via live stream as reflected in the view counts.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because those can be a fun way to kind of like fill time between different animations. But yeah, it's the next, like you just pointed out that point of entry for their content. I think they have license to take other types, like Among Us, other types of pop culture,
same format,
right,
different animations, games, etc., but a similar format of presentation in terms of its old versus new, original versus remake.
Yeah, I worry that when Among Us kind of died down, you started kind of flailing a little bit. And so I would just kind of like take a breath and find the next thing that you can make 50, 100 different animations about, you know?
Again, sample size here of just these videos that have been released in the last 5 days. This is your most popular video of the 5.
Yeah.
So it tells me, I guess, whether you like it or not as a creator, your viewers want to see this next and next and next. And if your answer to that is, I don't want to make this type of content anymore, then you may have to make the really tough decision to unlist this video because it's bringing in a lot of your audience. Let's go to stats. So how many views are they getting a day? Yeah, look, so they're getting between like 5,000 to 10,000 views a day. 50% of those views look as if they're coming in from that video.
And I wouldn't unlist it. I mean, they're likely making some ad revenue off that video. And
well, exactly, Dan. Like
passive income, you don't want to unlist that.
If you want to try and completely change and pivot your channel to new types of content and a new audience, this is the stone around your neck right now. But if this is like a reflection of your most successful content and you want to do more of this, then do more of this and try to cut out all of the other stuff that's appearing on the channel.
Yeah, but if you're going to pivot really hard away from it, personally, I make the choice to start a new channel.
Yep.
Just so you don't
That's the
disturb the
option.
views you are getting.
Sure.
Because like when you're getting that many views, I know that's equating to some amount of ad revenue, and you might be enjoying a little bit of extra passive income. So
Definitely.
I'd be very nervous to unlist things in that situation. But that's what I would do too if I'm just trying to pivot really hard out of, you know.
You raise a good point, because like maybe you take all of this content onto a new channel, because fingers crossed, hopefully it wouldn't take you that long to build up to an audience size of a few hundred views per video. Or if you're getting no views on this other channel with this stuff, again, it's a clear indication that there isn't an audience for this alternative content that doesn't seem to be working anywhere near as well as the format that we've already established there.
Right.
So yeah, maybe some tough choices ahead for the Jester about their contents. Are they using the community tab? Yeah, they're using it a little bit, which is good to see. Okay, what I have forgot to do so far is celebrate our competition winner. On Twitter, we run this every single week where we ask you a question, and the best answer or the best joke, whatever, will get a channel audit. And very simple this week, we asked you to describe your channel in just one sentence. And the winner was Ami No Townsy, who said their channel is the chillest man on earth reading and analyzing manga. So we're going to validate that now by auditing your channel. And it looks a little bit like this. Dan, I know you're not necessarily an anime fan, but if you want to just kick us off with this channel in terms of any general fundamentals you're seeing that are right or wrong.
So what I'm noticing is the numbers are like the star of all these thumbnails.
Yep.
And I don't
can't
know
avoid them, can you?
Yeah, I don't know if they're referencing episode numbers of not the content itself. Obviously, I don't think that's it. I think they're representative of maybe an episode of a show that they're covering. Then again, we have 3 that kind of go in sequence there. So maybe they just cover a lot of different shows at different times. So what I'm going to look for is which thumbnails that look kind of similar to one another, like which groupings of those have more views. And this purple one has, like, whenever the purple numbers come up, like those seem to have quite a few views compared to the yellow numbers. Okay. Yep.
Good.
And then the yellow one's a couple hundred views. The one that the newest video has, look at those two. The numbers getting sliced in half by whatever that series is resonating right now.
We're now auditing channels by numbers and colors.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Whatever you've just started doing is doing pretty well. But then again, maybe it's the case where whenever they start like doing a new series or something, it tends to do well, and then it kind of, like gaming series, it kind of tails off. It's hard to say. I'm
intrigued here. I want to just click into one of these. And I'm just going to skip around the video a little bit. Each of these is quite long, by the way. They're like 20 minutes plus, some of these. My guess is that maybe they're live streaming on Twitch and then repurposing
probably
onto YouTube, perhaps. So it looks as if it is just a creator, almost like a personality channel. So I'm wondering what they're referring to here. Live reaction.
So are they watching?
Chapters.
They're watching this episode, I guess, live, commentating over it. And since they don't want to get any kind of like copyright claims or anything, you're expected to follow along. Maybe while you're watching live, you also have the episode on, or maybe, maybe there's some trickery there where on the Twitch stream, there's extra content on the screen that we're not seeing on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like a reaction to these episodes of the show. Interesting.
I'm very impressed that the creator has built up such a community without actually revealing what they're talking about. You are
Right.
you are almost watching a person reacting to something off screen, and there's a certain setup in the thumbnails and the titles. Like, I would assume as again a new visitor to your channel, that on clicking one of these thumbnails, I would be shown a little bit of manga, an animation perhaps, and I'm not getting any of that, which feels like a complete disconnect. But the view counts are relatively strong, relatively good.
Yeah. I wonder, does anyone else, this is coming from the gaming side of me, but does anyone else feel like the numbers in the thumbnails are a bit of a deterrent for viewers who might be finding this on YouTube? You know, someone new who's never seen your content before.
I actually thought that was going to be the first thing you would say, Dan.
Well,
when you avoided it.
I was trying to be forgiving of it because it's not gaming, and I get why there's these series go on forever. So like the number's important for content.
The numbers are so high at this point that are these just episode numbers? But I think they actually
look like
are.
they're chapters. I mean, it says chapter or something in the title, so it looks like they're chapter numbers.
So since it's in the title, at the end of the title, I wonder if they should try to do a few just where they don't have the number, but they just have a different, intriguing image. Maybe the most shocking thing that happened in the episode, the thing you react the most to, make that the focus of the thumbnail. Like, I would just play around with them a little bit, because they get some really good view counts, but they're also very consistent. And I would love to see like something change where the real growth kind of starts happening for the channel.
It does feel as if the channel has reached a ceiling or plateaued, because I'm going back 2 years now, and the view counts are quite similar to where they are now. We've got a core audience of 500 to 1,000 views. Maybe some of these have just built up an extra 1,000 views over the course of 2 or 3 years. So slow growth there, but I wonder, just as a big collection of videos, how many views per the channel. Oh, they must have deleted something recently. Yeah, those numbers don't quite stack up in terms of view counts.
Yeah, I think that's, I would be playing around with my titles and thumbnails some more. But what we can also do, and I don't know exactly how to categorize this content, but what we could also be doing is looking at other creators doing something similar and seeing, you know, how are they pitching their videos? Are they really focused on the chapter number, or is it something else? You know, if they're you got to find other creators who are reacting to a similar type of content. It doesn't have to be the same shows. It might help if it is, but you know, and try and take some pages out of their book, especially the ones who are where you would like to be on YouTube in terms of growth.
I was thinking of a bit of an analytics deep dive as well, to find out 2 things here, I think. First of all, is YouTube putting in any effort to find new viewers? And so to answer that question, you would obviously want to look at the audience tab and see if new viewers are finding your content, because it feels to me as if they're not converting into returning viewers. Return viewers, I would suggest, is very stable, but not going up or down. And then by extension of that, are your impressions fluctuating much? Because if you're getting the same number of impressions for your videos, it means that YouTube is not finding a new audience to share it with, or it sees no reason to share it with a new audience. So set your analytics. Let me just quickly show you what I mean here. If you go to your videos and then you click on analytics and then go since published and then sort by first 24 hours and look at reach, just have a look at your impressions and see if they're relatively flat and you're getting a similar number of impressions per video after 24 hours. That would be an indication that YouTube knows who your current audience is, but they don't necessarily finding new audiences. And then also from a broader perspective on your channel, maybe go to analytics and then click on see more to get the advanced mode, and then try traffic source. I'll probably stretch that out to the last 365 days and see if there is anything significant shifting or moving on your channel. And if nothing is happening, then it feels as if you're in a similar trap to let's play content whereby you've been doing the same thing for a very long time, and because you're doing the same thing over a very long time, nothing is changing. There's nothing new for YouTube to try in terms of finding an audience. For us here, we see there's quite a significant spike and shift in browse traffic, and search has been going up, which means that we've been doing a bit of testing, targeting new titles and whatnot, and it's been working for us. So again, some experimentation there might be worthwhile.
Hey,
that was a lot to take in. A lot to take in.
Hey, Rob. So you just talked about how if you look at your impressions after the first 24 hours after you post the video, and on a per video basis, they are staying the same. They're not really increasing. You just said that YouTube is not finding a new audience for your video. So I guess the question becomes, how does one go about getting their video pushed out to a newer audience if they're not finding that success currently?
Experimentation. Find new formats, or changing the titling structure to give YouTube something new to play around with. I keep showing this, teasing this spreadsheet I've been working on for the last 6 months. Before Christmas, you can see, this is after the first 24 hours. This column here is all of our impressions. It's probably quite difficult to see. Let me zoom in. Our impressions in the first 24 hours were all under 200,000 impressions. And then we decided to mix things up and create different content and retarget our audience a little bit. And you can see the change now from going from 200,000 impressions approximately to now we tend to get up to 300,000 impressions in the first 24 hours. So we've increased our, I guess, advertising budget with YouTube, organic reach wise. We're now reaching 300,000 people in that first 24 hours instead of 200,000 people. That's actually caused our click-through rate to go down, which is why that's a very difficult figure to track because it's so fluid, but it's resulting in more overall views. I know I'm going very technical here, but I guess the too long didn't watch advice here is that if you're seeing that nothing is changing on your channel, it's time to experiment with something new. So going back to our hero channel, is you've been doing this type of format and content for years at this point, and you've got a solid audience, but is that the best you're going to get? Without experimentation and testing, perhaps going 1 or 2 steps back to begin with, to eventually go 3 or 4 steps forward, you may have to you may have to get out of your comfort zone, I think, a little bit, because you know what you can go back to, you know what works for 500 to 1,000 people on YouTube. But how do you get another 5 to 10,000 people potentially seeing your content and clicking on it?
Yep.
That was my TED talk for the day.
Well said. Well said.
Good talk.
Let's go. Thank you. Let's go to, I think this is the last pre-selected channel, which is Alexia's TCG opening. Viper, I think you picked this one.
I did not.
Oh, sorry, Dan. You did. Whoever picked it, I'll let you kick off.
Yeah, we have what I believe is a rather new Pokemon trading card game opening channel. And there are, fortunately for you, a ton of examples out there on YouTube that we can look at, because we can give a lot of the same advice we've given pretty much all day, right? Like thumbnails and titles just need to be spruced up across the board. You're putting text, sometimes more text in your thumbnail than the title, when we generally recommend no text at all. You know, and you're unboxing these cards, but you're showing too much in each thumbnail. A lot of the unboxing videos that I see, it's the person like holding up one card, and maybe the card doesn't even know what it is. It's just like a question mark sometimes. So I would be looking at other channels, and I would be trying to, you know, find your thumbnail strategy more and compare it more to what these other successful Pokemon card opening channels are doing. When you show a lot, that's how you do it. Every pack, and you have this massive table, you're in there for perspective, and then these stacks of Pokemon cards, that's when it's okay to show a lot of things. But then you have these other ones that just show a little bit. They're holding a case that they bought. They're money Pokemon cards. This is $1. This is $1,000. Like, this is perfect. It was pulled. We don't know what it is, but it was pulled, and we have to watch.
And another common denominator in most of these is that they are based on a reaction to the card. Not all of them, but most of them have the YouTuber classic reaction face in them, which is usually yeah or similar.
Right. Right. So that's if I were any Pokemon trading card game opening channel, I would be searching and searching and searching every time I'm making a video for thumbnails and titles that are working, and not copying them, obviously, but you come at it through with your own style. But other than that, we have, I would say, a pretty dedicated channel. You're investing a lot into this hobby, it seems. You've been at it for a little over a month. You have a lot of content already, which is great to see. So, yeah, I would maybe space this out a little bit more, because it looks like 2 weeks ago you put 3 videos up, and then we haven't heard from you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I would be a little more, if all you can do is like 3 videos a month, for example, I would just space it out a little bit more so you can kind of get a weekly rhythm going on your channel, like 1 video a week at least, you know.
There is an outlier video here. New Walgreens Pokemon mystery box. That's the one video of a decent length, which has 500 views versus everything else that has less than 50. So why did that video get more views? I can only guess here, but maybe there's an incentive to tell people where you're getting these Pokemon cards from. So the next one might be Walmart's Pokemon mystery box offerings, or CVS, or Dan Viper. Help me out with other US locations that might sell Pokemon cards.
Arby's.
Arby's. I thought Arby's was a restaurant. Are you yanking my chain? Yanking my chain here. Yeah. Thanks. See, I spotted that attempt.
I figured you didn't know what Arby's was, which was even more perfect, because it sounds kind of like they could deal in trading cards.
I know what Arby's is from The Simpsons, because this is going way back into like the early days of Simpsons, when I think it's the 2 twins who always wear purple dresses. They were really disappointed that they were going to have to spend their birthday party at Arby's or something. Yes, that's the only thing I remember about them.
Should we tell Viper he's muted?
Just let him carry on.
I got to unmute myself, but yeah, that would be pretty disappointing. Spending your birthday at Arby's.
I almost want to find that clip on YouTube now.
What I wanted to say was that I think that Walgreens one speaks for itself, right? Like, a lot of people live near a Walgreens, and they can conceive like, oh, I live near a Walgreens. Yeah. I should go over there and pick up some Pokemon cards. So yeah, it was smart of them to include where they got those cards. And it's probably, like, you're probably right. I bet that might be why that video did just so much better.
I mean, I just imagine, like, if you can probably test it on some of these videos that we've already created. Brilliant stars, triple packs opening from wherever you bought them from. Just maybe adding that as a test to see if that gives it a little more juice in terms of discoverability.
I mean, you can even pull a 180 and say, like, eBay ripped me off, you know, and that could be like the pitch of the video, and it's Pokemon cards, maybe somewhere in the title Pokemon cards, but you're holding this box of Pokemon cards, and it's, you know, it has a price tag on it, and you look angry at it. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of play with these you know, types of titles and thumbnails for collectibles like this.
How many results are out when I just put in Walgreens POK? Is that a big place to get Pokemon stuff?
I didn't know this, but maybe.
What is the competition around this?
All the different places you can get Pokemon cards.
It looks like there's a big question of, is it worth it? Is it,
yeah,
you know, is this a place I should get these?
Or better yet, if you type it into our keyword inspector tool on the web, that'd be interesting.
Look at this channel. 14 subscribers, 1,700 views. That's yet more evidence of small channels being able to find their route into the Pokemon card opening topic on YouTube.
It's not true, though. We all know YouTube hates small channels.
True.
That's the myth.
There's another one. I know this video is a little bit older, but
yeah,
to do a search on this is really fascinating now in terms of search-based research. To do a search on this and to find 20 results down that we're finding channels of 600 subscribers, 4,000 subscribers, the 14 subscribers, these channels ranking this highly, that must be a reason why this video got more traction than it did Walmart's Pokemon card unboxing type stuff.
If you're a smaller channel and you can find an underserved market, you can yeah, it's crazy how quickly you can grow on YouTube.
That was so sudden. I thought we had a special guest.
you know what it is? I've gone too early with that because I forgot that we need to do another channel, but maybe I'll leave that channel for a few minutes, and we'll do one from the claw first of all. And I think I have just replaced my claw tab with one of the other tabs. Oh, what was it? Was it this one? No.
Probably. No.
Was it this one? No. This is going to be very boring, isn't it? Let's just do it again. Let's just do a search for a random number generator because YouTube knows that I always, Google always knows that I search for this. Let me explain how this works. So we look at our list. We have a bumper list. What's that? 800 channels have submitted between non-gaming and gaming channels. So we make sure that we include all the channels in the list. And then if Jeff was here, he would, in his best Toy Story rendition, save a claw. We would pick that number out and we would take that number and put it into our list. And then from that list, we pick the channel and we are encountering these channels for the first time here. First impressions, we don't know what we're coming across.
Anything could happen.
So we are treating these as brand new viewers to your channel. So I see Sunrise Adventures. I assume that it's about maybe potentially living off the grid or a camping advice, something along those lines. Is that backed up in the videos? I think so, but the thumbnails, at least in the non-shorts, the thumbnails aren't particularly that strong.
I wish I knew what the channel's about because I see some they're doing some kind of work on some wooden coasters with a laser. They're fixing a truck door. They got their dogs running around. So if I had to guess, this is somebody who, like you said, lives off the grid or lives in a cabin of some sort. And the videos tend to be about their life, their kind of experience, and they happen to live in this type of
Wait. Time out, Dan. Can you be on YouTube and live off the grid though?
Well, yeah, why not?
It's a good question.
You can
I'm just curious.
satellite internet and people
but then you connect it to the internet. You connect it to the biggest, most exposed grid on the earth. Maybe they should make a video about that.
I think there's different ways to look at it because I think the grid could also be like the power grid, but you generate your own energy, so you're off the grid. I don't know, man. I don't listen. I live very cushy. I'm a city slicker, as they say. So I can't relate.
The unique thing I'm seeing in some of these thumbnails is that they have some form of laser cutter. I've seen that in a few thumbnails. We have this one outlier, which has got 6,000 views, which is phenomenal. If I start by most popular, it doesn't really come up again, does it?
This is the first thing.
It's the first thing, but only once.
Oh
no! Hang on. There's another one here, laser cutter, and then not really anywhere else.
That's what I would be doing. I would be. That's a pretty unique skill that you have with some pretty cool tools that you're using. I wouldn't be doing videos with the dogs. I wouldn't be doing videos about fixing trucks. I would be filling my garage with different projects that I made with this laser cutter.
Me too.
maybe it's not. Is it a laser cutter? 5 best laser cutter engravings. Okay, interesting. So these are very specifically laser cutter engravings.
So is this here a laser cutting channel? Oh, that's very boring. Oh, I was hoping to expect like some real crafty things, like the kind of tease cool things that they're crafting through a laser cutter, but it's tied up in a horrible PowerPoint style thumbnail.
Oh, that was mean.
Many of these.
That's what I'd be doing. I'd be engraving everything I found.
You just go out, and the first thing you see is you go out where it's like you're gonna laser cut your dog, you're gonna laser cut the car, you're gonna laser cut your windows, even though that means that you're gonna break your windows and it's gonna be very cold at night. But man, if you want a YouTube channel with viewers, laser cut it.
Yep.
Is that what the channel should be called, Dan? Laser cut it.
That'd be a great
This
name.
should be laser. This should be lasered.
Yeah, will it laser?
There we go. There we go. Now, I know we are being a bit facetious here and we're kind of joking around, but that is how you find a channel focus, isn't it? You find something that's fairly unique that you have on your channel. And we understand this idea of maybe living in a heaven in a log cabin near a lake. But there are other channels that are doing that and doing it quite well. Whereas we've already gravitated to this laser cutter, which automatically creates an interesting thumbnail by the way it looks in an image. And some of your most viewed videos have this laser cutter in there. It's definitely something worth exploring, I think, for a concerted, consistent number of videos for like 5 to 10 videos over 6 months, 6 weeks, 2 months.
Yeah. There it is. They have a bunch of them down here. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But some of these, it's not clear what they're laser cutting, or it could be pitched better. Like the coasters one makes sense. Like people know what that is. My first puzzle, like it would have been more impactful. I know it's a short, but it would be more impactful. It was like, can you laser cut a puzzle, or how to laser cut a puzzle, or something like that.
That's an interesting one. Laser cutting an X-Wing and a TIE fighter. Just Star Wars isn't really trending right now or at that period. So imagine if you laser cut the Batman logo 2 weeks ago when the film was released. Because I don't know about you, this is something that's really interesting. Have you found on your home and browse feed that you're just getting loads of Batman related videos?
No.
I'm getting all of these clips from stuff from years ago at this point. Like why am I seeing this from 2 years ago? And the reason is it's because they're getting thousands of views per hour on YouTube in general. So it's just recommending that generally to all sorts of viewers. I've seen that very frequently, and I hadn't watched any Batman clips.
Did you watch the trailer for the movie?
I don't think I did on the main vidIQ channel. Okay. They just suddenly started appearing. Also, hot take, unpopular opinion. This is Rob just being Rob. The latest Batman film, I hated it.
Oh, really?
I thought it was absolutely appalling.
Wow.
And I was angry while I was watching it that I was wasting 3 hours of my time.
But did you like the Bruce the series, the trilogy that they did with Christopher Nolan?
Loved it.
I did too.
That's
okay.
Cinematic perfection.
Got it.
But this latest one, I was really frustrated while I was watching it. I was at the point where I was picking out the continuity errors because I was so annoyed.
He's not going to spoil it. Don't worry. People in chat.
I was about to spoil it, but I'm not going to spoil it. So yeah,
I'm glad I said something.
I best not. Well, there was one bit where Catwoman had a bike, but it looked like it was a bike on top of a really tall building. And all I could think about was how on earth did she get the bike on the top of that building? I couldn't suspend disbelief. So I was just picking out errors here, there, and everywhere. Anyway, we're actually auditing channels, aren't we? Let's do that.
We were.
Sorry. We were channel 302. This is a gaming channel we are now looking at. And you know what? I've decided for this channel audit, I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to leave it up to Dan and Viper to offer your critique of Mafia Gaming.
All right. I feel like we've definitely audited a channel before that called itself Mafia Gaming. So I don't know if it's the same one or if it's just two words that people are putting together quite frequently. So that's not an audit. I'm just kind of curious. If we've seen it before, is there like, do you recognize it at any point? So I see they're doing shorts, and I always have this speech I give when I see shorts like this, Rob, and I'm sorry to have to give it again, but maybe some folks here need to see it. You'll notice that the shorts we're looking at are 16:9 videos within the framing of a 9:16 video, meaning that this is how it's going to look when you see it on a phone, right? Yeah, see all that space Rob's scribbling in? That should be filled out with video. So you should have cropped that in a different way, because the stuff on the sides of the screen it's not really doing anything for me anyway. Yeah. So where Rob is cutting right now is what would be filling the screen if you had cropped it properly. Exactly. Pull the corners up. So we get everything. You'd be surprised. Like, you really don't need the sides of screens in a lot of different gaming footage, especially footage like this. So what you're doing is giving the viewers a really bad experience, and they're probably swiping away from this content a lot faster than you would want them to. And when that happens, that is a signal to the YouTube short shelf that, oh, this video isn't really resonating, so I'm not going to continue to share it with as many people. So even if this has 1,000 views, I would argue that you could have gotten 10,000 views if only you had cropped it properly. So as you're doing shorts in the future, crop them properly. There are apps that will help you with this now. If your editor is giving you trouble, there's tutorials, there's a lot of guides, because shorts have become really popular. I think your gaming channel could be exploding from shorts, because some of these do have over 1,000 views. If you were to just give people that better experience. On top of that, you're using a lot of hashtags, and that is a TikTok thing. Using hashtags in your titles, other than the word shorts, which even that you don't need, doesn't really do anything for you on YouTube Shorts at all. TikTok, yes. YouTube, no. It does. It's not the same system. Make your titles short and catchy with shorts. Make them like a very brief description of what happens in the game. A lot of people won't even see the title, but if they do, that one title we were looking at a minute ago was like a weird jumbled mess of different letters and numbers, and that was taking up the bottom half of the screen, to be honest. Write these for humans. Stop with the hashtags. They're not going to do anything at all. Just write them for humans. Now let's look at the latest video, because it's 3 minutes. It's not a short. Where we started, something montage Mafia Gaming. So we got them. Okay, so you're starting to experiment with taking footage from this game. BGMI, I'm assuming, is the game. And actually making more long form montages, which is a good step to taking the shorts that are bringing some people in and getting them to watch the long form content. That's great. What happened to the montage? Is there a part of that montage that was so mind blowing? And could you have made that the title and the thumbnail? Because selling people on watching a montage, especially today, because there's a dime a dozen, is really, really challenging. So instead, what you'll notice what people do is, they put something really impressive in the title and thumbnail, 6 headshots in a row. And that's only one part of the montage. A bunch of stuff happens in it, but they take the most impressive thing and they lead with that. That's what I want you to do when you're thinking about doing these montages. And I want your titles and thumbnails to reflect, 6 headshots in a row. Is this character you're using in the thumbnail, is that part of the game, or is that your own kind of character that you had someone draw for you? Because the game needs to look familiar to people who are going to see that thumbnail. It has to be a game they recognize and go, oh, that's my favorite game, BGMI. I don't play the game, so I don't know. Maybe that is familiar imagery that you're using, but if it's not, I would really be focused more on making a cool looking thumbnail that someone who plays the game would immediately click with them, oh, that's my favorite game. That's a whole bunch of advice for everybody here. This is not just for this channel anymore. That's for everybody. You can all take that and do with it what you will, but we see stuff like this all the time. So I wanted to generalize as much as possible.
That was, once again, channel auditing gaming gold.
You
know,
know,
you've gone into business for yourself there, Dan. But is it Viper just taking a stepped out for a second?
So speaking of gold and gaming gold and shorts, on Thursday I've been invited to join our group coaches for some group coaching. So I'll be a guest on Thursday for our group coaching program, and we're talking about shorts. So I'm just practicing.
Well said, sir. Well said. I was going to mention that if this creator did want to keep onto the hashtags, they can put them in the description. So they're maintaining the optimization potential there. And what I found really interesting, Dan, was that the shorts have a very certain ceiling. Like, as a channel with 56 subscribers, you'd be delighted that your videos are getting 1,000 views plus.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen this so much, whereby all of the shorts that they have, they tend to get about 1,500 views and no more. You tend to find that they get, one will get 5,000 views, and then one will get 100 views, and they'll be very spiky, but very consistent numbers here, which I find really interesting from a shorts channel. But as you say, giving the viewer a better experience, it may be that YouTube is saying, this is an underserved part of YouTube in terms of Mafia gaming. We're going to test these videos with all of these viewers, but then they don't get really good audience retention because of the viewing experience. So then they hit a ceiling, and then YouTube stops testing the content.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. We can't look at these videos as on a normal watch purge now, because I'd love to see what the viewing history was like. Did they just get a surge of views, 1,000 views in like a couple of hours, and then it stopped?
That's a good point. That new shorts player does make that not possible to do anymore.
We'll have to have a word with our developers to fix that.
Yes, we'll need to take that new page on YouTube and make it our own.
Discord. Dan.
Yes.
Not only do we have the exclusive group coaching community, where you pay a set fee and then you can talk to our experts and our auditors almost one-on-one, but we have the broader, everybody's welcome Discord channel. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so if you are a YouTube creator, which I imagine a few of you here are, we have a whole Discord full of you, and it's totally free to join. vidIQ.com/Discord. The link should be down below. And as you can see, like in the thumbnail channel that we're in, for example, people are sharing tips and tricks on how to make better thumbnails. It's great because before you upload your video, you can have real people look at your thumbnails and you can say, hey, what do you guys think? And that's just one of many channels. People aren't link dumping in our Discord. We don't allow that. So you're not going to find people just spamming their videos. Instead, each channel has its purpose. We talk about achievements. We talk about our analytics. We talk about, all sorts of things. It's all there on the left-hand side. So there you go. That's our Discord. And then when people are being super awesome and super helpful, we randomly pick them for a channel audit. And that person this week is
Shoe Plays.
But
I just wanted to mention, if I was going to give some feedback on this thumbnail, I'd say that the fundamentals are solid, but what's the connotation that comes into your head when you see a thumbnail about a noob playing Elden Ring? It would be them doing something stupid or amazing. And the thumbnail needs to tell me a little bit more about that potential story of a noob in Elden Ring, other than what looks to be a loading screen. So that's the type of advice I would offer in the Discord chat.
There's some crazy monsters in Elden Ring. And I think there's I saw a clip of somebody playing and they were fighting a lobster. And I think what can happen is that lobster can actually pick you up. Imagine if your thumbnail was you flailing and a lobster claw had you. And it said a noob plays Elden Ring. That would be such a clickable, funny thumbnail. In that case, I would be treating my thumbnail as content. This video is so good, even the thumbnail makes you laugh.
Yep. So, and that's hopefully the type of advice and conversation you will get in the Discord thumbnail channel, along with all of the other channels. So, Shoe Plays, I think this is a Roblox channel. Yes, it says that in the titles. It looks as if they're trying to offer free content to gamers every day. But they have only just started that series in the last 10 days.
Interesting. They've been trying all kinds of stuff. but they haven't been around for too long. Interesting. So I like that they're testing different types of content.
Yep.
It looks like they're really doubling down on this. I used every free kit for free, and then it's a certain type of, I guess, kit. I don't know what game it's for or anything like that, but it looks like you have like a lot of these kind of planned. And I think what went wrong here is that you tried to include too much in the thumbnail. Free arrow pointing at a thing, perfect. I cannot for the life of me see the thing you're trying to point at. It's impossible. Like
This item,
even zooming in, there's no detail in that image whatsoever, and that's a problem. So you might redo those thumbnails and try again. You don't have to re-upload the videos. You can just redo the thumbnails, and you'll be surprised. YouTube can pick these things up again. So yeah, here's some examples of people doing something similar. Look how much more, like the arrow pointing at the word free, new kit with a silhouette and a question mark. Yeah.
This is a good example of make your thumbnail far simpler for the viewers to comprehend, but you might want to spend a bit more time on the communication of a thumbnail. Like this is a good example of fear of missing out. Something silhouetted, but it's new and it's a free kit. Okay, you've got me interested in that. Whereas if we go back to the Heroes channel, as you say, Dan, this kind of left side of a thumbnail is all a little waste of space, isn't it? We don't need to know about any of these because I assume you're not telling me about these free kits. You're trying to tell me about this one, the important one.
Yeah. I don't give this advice a lot. I would go back through, those aren't very old videos. I would literally redo every single one of those thumbnails and keep the videos up. And if that's going to take you too much time, if you're like, I just don't want to, I want to focus on the next video, I totally get that. Then focus on the next video, but keep that lesson in mind. Like, look at some of the thumbnails for the type of Roblox video you want to make next. Look at the people who've already kind of been there and see what they did. And we're never telling you to copy these outright, but in almost, unless you literally copy and paste their thumbnail, you're always going to get, if you hand make your own thumbnail, you're always going to get something different than the one that inspired you. You're always going to have, like, subconsciously, you're going to be putting your own spin on that. So I would really encourage people to, look at what's working for other creators and take it seriously and try it out on your channels.
I think these thumbnails are of a cool design.
Yeah,
I almost feel
like
as if these could be augmented into this new style where the text is free kit, and then you have a character in front of that text, but then blow it up even more, and then a bit of a blurred background as well. That might look cool.
Yeah, the only problem with those is that the word that they're using to, like, get me excited, like heathens, it's not, I guess it says 21 Pilots, so I guess this is like a montage to like a certain song or something, but I think that's just not very exciting. Like, I think people would rather watch a Bed Wars video that was going to have epic moments in it, or a teachable moment, like you're going to show them something cool that they can use while they're playing Bed Wars. So there's a lot of different strategies going on. They're trying a lot of different things, which I always encourage, but I would be thinking about some of these other tips we've given today.
Cool. So that is Shoe Plays, our Discord community member. Hope you found the advice useful. Welcome back, Viper. I'm going to try and load up a channel for you now called Sully Streams. We do movie reviews and rankings. So I'll let you lead with this one, sir.
Okay, Sully Stream. First thing I got to tell you is that the banner, as cool as it looks, tells me nothing about your channel. So again, I don't want to harp on the banner too much, but it is nice when you do click on a channel and the banner tells you what to expect, or you get at least a little inkling of what to expect from your banner. So I would say maybe try to implement some of that in your banner for future reference. Now, on to these titles and thumbnails. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's a straight up movie review channel. Okay, I mean, not too much going on here, but careful with the amount of text you use in your thumbnails, especially, again, text has a place, you all, and it's in the title. Okay, let me repeat that for the people in the back. Text has a place. It is not the thumbnail. It is the title. If you have to have text in your thumbnail, it should be 3 words or less, and it should complement whatever the title is, because the title and thumbnails should be married. They should be complementary of each other. The way a marriage should work, idealistically. But be careful with some of the amount of the text that you are using, because it's a little bit too much in some of these. But I like the way that you have the Batman logo in the thumbnail. I like that, and it seems like you were using other different movie logos in your thumbnail, so that's good. I don't know. I kind of feel like even though you have like some of the imagery from these movies, some of these thumbnails look a little too plain, especially with all the text too. Again, I feel like you could be doing something else instead of putting like loads of text in your thumbnail. But other than that, also your title, while I get it and I understand it, they're kind of generic. You're just saying such and such movie review, and that's cool. But maybe include some type of like emotional reaction that you had to the movie in your thumbnail. Maybe something like, I can't believe this happened, such and such movie review, or something like that. Something that can draw that initial emotional connection with a potential viewer, because there are thousands of Batman movie reviews out there. I mean, everybody's doing Batman movie review, but why should they click on your review? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. This is why I try to invite each of you all to do when you're making titles and thumbnails. Make them in such a way, actually, I should say, after you make them, ask yourself, why would someone click on my title, my thumbnail? If you can answer that pretty quickly, you're probably in good shape. If you have to think about it, then you might want to redo it, because you want this to be instantaneous. Like, they should be able to take a look at your title and your thumbnail, bam, and want to click on it instantly. And if they don't want to click on it instantly, then you might want to go back and rework it a little bit. But titles are kind of generic. Add some pizzazz to it, add some emotional context to them, and I think you'll be on your way.
Just to add to what Viper said, I would love to see this creator use their opinion a little bit more.
Yes.
You know, and
yes,
because Viper, you bring up an amazing point. Like, and then here's the other problem. Like, not only are there hundreds of Batman reviews right now, there are people who got to see it before it was out, and they got first crack.
Yep.
They got to review the movie before you ever had a chance. So how do you stand out amongst that? Well, you see the movie and then you come in and you have a different take. Maybe, like Rob said earlier, he hated the Batman movie. Maybe that's the pitch of your video. So it's, yes, we're going to learn from your review whether or not you liked it, but maybe if you lead with that, and then the whole video, instead of you saying leading up to the moment where you give your verdict, it's like, no, I hated it, and here's why. And you do your spoiler-free version and do your spoiler version, so you have two videos. Like, I think it would be really cool to see you like try it out. It's kind of a big pivot from what you're doing now, and you have some pretty consistent views. But I would try it. I would see if it attracts some new viewers.
In terms of the thumbnails, I think some of these, even though the template is very similar, I think some of the thumbnails do better with the text that's on the thumbnails than others. As examples, Dan, you said, give me more of an opinion. This is a definite opinion.
They should flip it. So Netflix brand Back to the Future on the latest video, that's an opinion. Like, that's your opinion. And then the Adam Project at the end. And I wouldn't have called it a movie review in the title. It's kind of clear that you're going to talk about it. So Netflix brand Back to the Future, the Adam Project, 2 hours I'll never get back, Moonfall, spoiler-free review. Like,
I don't think this one is bad. It's at least asking a question. The one that I'm not a particular fan of is this one, because to me, that tells me all I need to know in a thumbnail, and it gives me no reason to click. Like, if you're saying that there's nothing you haven't seen done before, then I've got my movie review from the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And that it sounds generic. So I'm not going to bother clicking on this thumbnail to watch the review or watch the video itself, watch the film itself. And then this one feels very much like a sub headline from a 1990s newspaper. You know, it's a bit too punny without really making it more clickable.
Yep. So you don't like what I just said might have sounded like I want you to spoil your review in the title. So just to be clear, it would be more of the approach of like why I hated Batman. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're convincing people still whether or not they should go see it. So keep that in mind. But yeah, sorry, Rob. I just wanted to add that because
that's fine.
I basically said to do what you said not to do, and that's totally contradictory.
So yeah, I was just saying that I feel as if some of the thumbnails either reveal too much about the film or they're too generic of a review. So YouTube's mostly about getting an opinion or a piece of content that they can't get elsewhere. And so promoting the originality of your opinion or review of a video of a film is going to be really important. And through a combination of the somewhat generic thumbnails with lots of text and then the actual content of those texts means that there's maybe a bit of a less of a reason to click. Having said that, I think what we will say is that they've upgraded from these thumbnails, which were just a bit too flat and trying to force themselves to be on the thumbnail, and their reaction wasn't that exciting in them. I think they're an improvement, they're an evolution from where they were. And subscriber size, just under 1,000. When they're reviewing popular films such as Batman and Uncharted, the view counts aren't necessarily that bad, are they? They're getting hundreds of views, which is good. So there are some positive signals there, even though we have kind of just ripped apart your thumbnails to a certain extent.
All in love. It's all in love.
All in love. All in love. And with that love, I think we will conclude this session of channel audits. It feels as if we haven't gone through that many channels this week, but it feels like we've gone through a lot of different concepts and fundamentals in the channels.
We went in depth.
Yeah, so we hope you can apply what we've talked about in your in the next couple of weeks on your channel. So thanks for watching. But before we go, we want to tease what's happening next on the channel, because obviously you found out a lot about auditing channels today, but you're going to get some really valuable information tomorrow from Dan.
Yeah,
and he tells us what's coming up.
Well, not only me, I believe you're there tomorrow as well. And we're talking to Nolan from vidIQ, from Think Media, excuse me. He'll be on the vidIQ channel. And we are talking about avoiding mistakes that will keep you from getting views, meaning we're going to help you go viral. We're going to help you make your next video go completely viral. We can't promise that, obviously, but we're going to help you try. And I'm posting that right now. Literally right now, it is public. So you can go over there and set a reminder for that stream at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Also, Rob, do you want to tease a little bit about what's happening later this week?
We have quite a big, phenomenal, we need your help campaign that is going to be launched on Friday, and along with a live stream, which we will publish very soon. We're going to have some very, very, very special guests on that live stream to talk about something that's very important to all of us right now in the world, and that is the tease that I'm going to leave with you, and we may talk a little bit about that tomorrow as well. So tune in tomorrow to find out what we're doing a little bit more on Friday.
Yep.
Shall we say some goodbyes?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were about to play the outro song. I was just like, he's going to do it.
No.
Frost, goodbye to you. Social Ori, goodbye to you. Andy, thank you for being here. Goodbye to you. Heathen Gaming, we'll see you later. And Slobby Monk, we'll see you later. And Cowsy, goodbye to you.
You're on 2x speed there, Dan. Going
Oh,
through
man,
the channel.
ready to go. He got things to do. Yo,
on, Vipers, your turn.
Building Waffle Audio, appreciate you being here. We got a game movie director cut, but bye to you. I saw, Killjoy, goodbye to you. And goodbye to Average Joe Arcade. Cool name.
Mike McSmurphy, bye to you. Chill Play, thank you for joining us. Go Dodgers. Is there going to be any baseball this summer, or is it
probably
still...
not?
Oh yeah. They reached an agreement. So we're good.
Okay, good.
Oh, really? On Reddit, there was somebody who was drawing pictures of Mike Trout in different movie scenes until the lockout ended. So like they had one on the Titanic, all of these famous movie scenes. I don't know if anyone can find that. I don't know. That's the only thing I know about baseball right now, that there was a lockout. Goodbye to Matthew, Crypto Housewife. And yes, Eric is confirming that there is a agreement coming. And last but not least, I'm going to say goodbye to Calvin. If you enjoyed this live stream, do make sure to give it a thumbs up if you haven't already done so. Share this live stream with anybody who may find this useful as a replay. And we will see you all tomorrow for the next live stream. Bye for now. Everyone's saluting, but I haven't yet found my outro. So now we can all salute. Let's do this.
I already did.